I've been playing a lot of Raum. I've gone through 42 real levels with him. That's pretty good progress for 3 weeks, I'd say. It's nothing too crazy, but I'd say I've built up an okay amount of experience with the character. I really want to make a how to play guide for him after the Season 3 update hits, but for now I still want to let you guys in on some of the stuff I've learned. So here are 5 tips to help make you a better Raum. Tip 1. So Raum's soul armor goes away after about 9 seconds of not picking up another soul. Sometimes you get these moments during the game where there isn't any fighting going on, and your souls are going to go away right before the next team fight starts. So you'll end up having to play passive to regain your soul armor, instead of starting the fight at full power. Well, if you use Soul Harvest after 8 seconds, you'll reset the timer even if there are no souls on the ground to pull towards you. Since soul armor technically creates 2000 health worth of souls for you, it resets the timer, allowing you to keep your current soul armor going into the next team fight. Now, you don't want to do this every time. On bigger maps, the team fights are more distance-based, so even if you do this, your soul armor will probably disappear before you can pick up another one anyway, even with the bonus 9 seconds, since the enemies aren't close to you. So you'd be better off not using Soul Harvest like I explained, and instead playing it slow, poking at a distance, and using Soul Harvest to pull in those souls like you'd normally do. But on smaller maps where team fights happen in close proximity, the tip I explained is pretty valuable, since you will be able to pick up more souls during those bonus 9 seconds. Tip 2. Nothing counters you more than characters who can stop you from using Juggernaut. Genos Void Grip, Grover Crippling Axe, Makoa Hook, Tyra Burn Monster, Atlas Rewind, Khan Commander's Grab, basically any hard CC. Some are of course way easier to counter you with than others. Looking at you and your auto-aim grip, Genos. Raum is so reliant on Juggernaut to be effective. Without it, he's basically a walking ultimate battery for the enemy team. The second it gets cancelled, you're basically a free kill if the enemy team looks at you. If there are an abundance of these counters on the enemy team, you're basically screwed since you'll be severely limited no matter what you do. Resilience won't stop these CCs from cancelling your Juggernaut. But if there's only 1 or 2 of these counters, then you can play around them to still get effective use out of your Juggernaut. You either want to wait for the enemy to use these abilities before you start running around, or pressure them into using it on you early. For example, Makoa isn't going to save his hook for your Juggernaut the whole time. His hook is too impactful of an ability to hold for that long. He will eventually go for a hook on somebody when the opportunity presents itself, and when he does, you're free to run around. As far as pressuring goes, here's an example. If you notice that Genos is on his own and you push him, he may feel forced to grip you in order to get behind a wall without you following him. Once that ability is pressured out of him, you're free to run around. Another example is with Damba. At some point he'll stun you and this will activate his stun lockout. You can easily get your Juggernaut off during that lockout. He could hit you with his stun again during the windup, but due to the lockout, it'll only hurt you a bit and not stun you. Also, of course, if you kill the counter or somebody else kills the counter, that also makes you free to run around. Another thing is, on a big map, you could easily play on the side of the map that you see your counter is not on. Tip 3. Here's a tip for Juggernaut itself. Normally you can't instantly turn while running around, but if you run over an edge of any kind, you can turn instantly. This is something BK can do in his ultimate as well. This is really good for unexpectedly turning on enemies after you hit them, to hit them again or get into position quickly for an ult. Now, depending on the map, you could even do this multiple times for several quick hits. Tip 4. Another tip for Juggernaut. If you hit somebody with it, they're going to go flying. Normally you would be forced to run right past them, but if you run against a wall after hitting them once, and you let them fly a bit, you can time it and run away from the wall to hit them again. Also, if you're fighting a character with no movement ability, whether they don't have it at base, or they recently used it, or they can't use it while in the air like Victor or Lex, you can sorta juggle them against the wall. Doing this 3 times does 2100 damage. That could possibly kill a squishy. Tip 5. Raum likes to get in people's faces. He has the health to back it up, and the closer you are, the less severe his spread is. However, his ultimate doesn't really benefit from you being up close. The closer you are, the less of a spread you get on your ultimate, and you don't want that. It makes it easier for people to avoid it since it is condensed. Your ultimate can go a rather impressive distance, and it becomes harder to avoid the farther it goes, so make use of that. When ulting, do it at a reasonable distance to make use of its spread and hit multiple targets. Nothing is more satisfying on Raum than getting a big multi-hit ult off. And that's it, those are 5 Raum tips. Practice them and use them in your games to see increased success with the character. If you have any other Raum tips, feel free to put them in the comments below. If there's another character you guys want to see a 5 tips video for, feel free to leave their names in the comments as well. And if you have tips for the other characters you want to see, leave those down there too. You might see your tip in an upcoming video. Anyway, that's pretty much it guys. I want to thank you all for watching. I very much appreciate it, and I'm gonna see you guys later. Bye.